Well, 1 year ago today, a 21-year-old Grand Rapids man fell nearly 3 stories, landing on his head. We told you his story from his parents' view as their son lay lifeless in a coma for 10 days. We heard his remarkable story of recovery and what he says he saw beyond life. So new at 7, Casey Jones went back to see how this young man is healing 1 year later.
Valentine's Day 2017, Seth Alfaro lay in a lifeless coma. His family wasn't worried about what would happen over the next year. They were worried about the next breaths. Extraordinarily, those breaths came, followed by remarkable moments of progress and what Seth called a brush with God. A year later, we went back to see what Seth is doing with those extra breaths, that extra time. In every year, there are moments, captured time that defines days and measures nights. Time drips and ticks. It doesn't pass, only changes.
I wish I could remember the night.
For Seth Alfaro,
I just wish I could remember what I was thinking as I was climbing up there and stuff.
He's caught between that captured time and the moments of change.
It's just like such a different, I don't know, I don't want to talk about it. Man, this is hard. Man, I don't know if I could do this.
This dude literally jumped up there and is down 14 feet. Dude, Seth, are you all right?
Time has a way of playing tricks. The only difference between a February night in the 60s and one a year later with 10 inches of snow is the time between it.
I'm just out filming and skating around.
If there was this much snow, we would have never been out here skateboarding or filming.
There was a block sitting right here, and we just jumped on the roof and then crawled up.
How many times have you been back to this spot right here?
Probably like 3 or 4 times.
Such a far fall, too. I don't think he stopped, right? The roof?
Yep. We poked right through it.
When I was going through some dark places, it was like going through some hard times. I would just be like, find myself here, like looking for something, like searching for something.
And after about 20, 30 seconds, it was like, okay, this is real. You know, like we need to get in there and save our friend.
I would just find myself here late at night, just like walking around the building, just like, I don't know, it'd just be really hard.
No one should ever be able to see their friend the way we saw Seth that night.
I mean, like part of me died in that accident. And that's like, it's not a bad thing, like it's a good thing. But it was just coping with that and grieving the loss of that person.
Out of everything dark and negative that was there, there's a light shining on Seth.
It's just now been a year, and I feel great. Like the doctors say, for the type of brain injury that I had, I should either be dead or have severe brain damage. And I'm walking around, I'm driving. It's amazing.
It hasn't been without change or challenge. As we walk inside the building for the first time that once pushed him near death,
the new owner says the room is a lot different.
Even that has changed. Ownership and makeup.
Well, I've seen it. I've just seen how fragile life is. How at any moment you could go.
Over the last year, he's battled anxiety, depression, and most troubling for him, PTSD. He laughs a lot. It's his way of coping, he says. Along with medication and counseling, mentally, he's as strong as he's been.
I feel good. I feel healthy, I feel strong, I feel right spiritually.
And then there's that fire that he had a year ago.
It's the way that God blessed me through this whole thing, experiences, and just the person that I am now. I don't think I would have changed like that.
It's still burning.
Like I've said this to many people, and I'll say it till the day I die. Like I would do anything to be back in that hospital bed, just to feel that love again. I'm not scared of death at all. I'm excited. If you're living your life for Christ, and that's the center of your life, we shall be excited for death, not scared.
Then humor is still there too, maybe a bit more practiced even.
What's like the last vivid memory you have?
I mean, like, I had like a really good pizza, but that was just last night. It was kidding. I went from being...
But it's now his ministry he's most excited about, speaking to others about his brush with God and that intense love he says he felt through the prayer of others. As he jokes, it's not something he asked to do. He just kind of fell into it.
I was just in Wisconsin last week. I was there for a week, and I gave multiple talks a day, talking to different groups of kids or talking to different groups of adults and sharing my experiences I've gone through this past year.
Time is a fickle friend.
I think it's kind of cool just like see the progress.
Sure, it ticks and drips.
I drive past this place and I get like a feeling of like, wow, like
working on those ankles. Good, those ankles.
It fleets as it pleases.
To think like where I was when that all happened.
As it passes,
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
it changes what's around it.
And now I'm personal training, helping people reach their goals.
For Seth Alfaro,
There you go.
time is only an obstacle between his next moment in life. A moment he hopes will define, measure, capture others. With his story of how he got more time.
I just see I've come so far. I feel so good right now. Like, I'm able to look back and think, wow, like I remember the person who I was, like, when that all happened, and that's totally changed. And like, I love the person I am now.
Perhaps one of the biggest changes for Seth, he no longer climbs on rooftops. He made that promise to his parents. He said with all they've done for him over the course of this year, if that can give them a little bit of peace of mind, that's a promise he can keep forever.